name is Steve Stevens, the best sports consultant money can buy. I make more money betting sports than anybody in the world. I'm the one that tells you who to bet. I'm not a bookie, I'm the Bookie Killer.
If money talks, then I got a lot to say. I'm on the grind trying to make $100,000 a day. The game that I pick, believe me, it's a winner. What I know could get you rich, cause all I pick is winners. Welcome to Las Vegas. Money talks, money talks. Welcome to Las Vegas.
You and me.
What do you, well, so I can't be late to my own podcast? Huh?
I'm just singing, waiting for you, bro.
I thought I owned this motherfucker. I thought I was the producer and all that shit, or besides paparazzi.
You do, but we're in a very time-sensitive, we're in a time-sensitive business, Steve.
Oh, man, I apologize, brother. I got here as quick as I can. Hey, I'm ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VIP Sports Podcast. I'm Steve Stevens, a.k.a. the Bookie Killer, sitting here with my co-host, the Big Skipper. As you know, I'm the most feared sports bettor in the world. The VIP Sports Podcast is to take you into my life of a guy that bets big and lives larger. Remember, I'm the one that tells you who to bet. I'm not a bookie. I'm a Bookie Killer.
The Bookie Killer.
My job is to make people a second income. My job is to show people the ins and outs of the business, make them understand what betting is all about, make you a better sports bettor. At the same time, make you laugh, give you some stats, and fight for the legalization of sports betting. That's what it's all about, right, Skip?
Yes, it is. It's not about the Easter Bunny this weekend, that's for sure.
And by the way, we have a famous saying over here, callbacks are like the Easter Bunny. They don't exist. When you get a guy on the phone that gives you a call on an inbound, or you got him going for a sale, you know, it's $500, I got to pull my car over, or can't I just go to your website and put the money in, or forgot me wallet, mate. Those are reasons to not pay. Mm-hmm. So we always say, listen, when someone says they got to call you back, callbacks are like the Easter Bunny. Yeah. They don't exist. If you don't believe me now, you won't believe me later.
It's just, anybody that's in sales understands exactly what we're saying. If you're in the car business, it's kind of like they call it tire kicking.
Uh-huh.
You know, a guy comes through, they come through with the family, they walk, or actually comes in by himself. He's taking your car for a test drive. When it comes down to making a fucking deal, well, he's got to go talk to his aunt. He's got to go talk to his uncle.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to go talk to his broker, his finance
Instead of making
guy.
up every excuse not to do it, you ever thought about making an excuse to do it, Bob? Give me 1% of your trust. I'll earn the other 99%. Sit back. I can't give these people too much game. It's too early, Skipper.
So in this business, we call the tire kickers or the B-backs. You know, some businesses call them the B-backs. In this business, we call them the Easter Bunnies.
The B-backs? I thought those were people that fucked with no rubber, barebacking.
Yeah, no, that's a bareback.
Those are barebacks all fucking day long.
I'll be back. I got to bring my wife. I got to talk to my accountant. I mean, they've got every objection and every excuse in the book. So in this industry, we say callbacks are like the Easter Bunny. They just don't exist. But happy Easter this weekend.
I was just going to say happy Easter to everybody this holiday. I hope you get a nice little turkey or ham or roast or whatever you do and fucking eat your ass off and enjoy it. I mean, holidays are a special time. Seems my partner over here has a holiday every other week. So
yes,
fucking
I do.
Easter probably ain't shit to you. You're fucking Bahamas 1 week, fucking Clearwater this, spring training.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I wish I could be like you, Skip.
Hey, San Francisco, Philly, New York, LA. I mean, Miami. I mean, I'm everywhere.
You're jet set, and I'm not mad at you.
It's a holiday every day in the skipper's life. Yes, it is.
In our industry, it's when you're in a trillion dollar.
What's wrong with that?
When you're the number one, well, let's be honest here. I own the number one company in the world. You're literally the number one consultant for VIP sports. It's $1 billion industry. I don't think it's hard for people to do the math.
Yeah.
I mean, we're blessed every single day. I mean, when you're in a $1 trillion industry and you're leading the pack, that means there's a lot of money there for us and everybody here to spread it around.
There's a lot of pieces of the pie out there.
You got to spread it around like mustard, brother. You know what I mean?
Podcast 117. Unbelievable.
Not only is it Easter, it's the spring break edition.
Yes.
And more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, it's the baseball edition. We told you last week that we were going to do a baseball-only segment, and my boy couldn't be any more excited. And I tell you what, I was so excited for the baseball segment, I bought my own fucking baseball bat. My own Louisville Slugger, Skipper. I figured, you know what? I'll hit the fucking home run. All I need you to do is run the bases. Fair enough?
We went over this before. I ain't running anywhere.
Hey, the only way to kick off
the only place I'm running is to the fucking bank.
I figured if we were going to do a baseball segment, the best possible way I could do was bring my own good old-fashioned Louisville Slugger.
That's a nice one.
OG Steve Stevens, Master Closer Kush, as a complete, and I mean, that does look like a baseball bat, doesn't it?
That is a log, my friend.
I mean, is that a good log?
That is a Louisville Slugger.
Like I said, we do everything bigger here. We smoke bigger joints. We sell bigger deals. We make people more money. Everything is enlarged here at VRP. Our cocks are bigger than everybody else's. Our attitudes, our egos, our cars, our bank accounts. Matter of fact, is your bank account small as a mouse's pussy? Is your bankroll looking like fly shit? Go to VIPSportsLasVegas.com.
That looks like a Hank Aaron or a Willie Mays.
No, this is a Babe Ruth after he ate 7 hot dogs and got drunk as fuck and used it as a cane to get to the plate.
Wow, that is a fucking log.
Well, and I'm going to smoke
what kind of kush is that?
Steve Stevens, Master Closer Kush. My original blend, by the way, is entering the contest.
Unbelievable.
Took second place, high THC. Come to town and, well, guys, you can also come to town, get an absolute blowout winner, and go to Steve Stevens Steakhouse, get a blowout dinner.
There you go.
You know, we got an absolute blowout winner, an absolute blowout dinner, and we'll get you a little kush at the end for dessert.
And if you're lucky enough, you might be able to take a hit off of that baseball bat.
That's right. And speaking of baseball bat, this is the baseball edition. You guys been asking for it. You're sitting here with the big skipper. I didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to be sitting in spring training and to be flying state to state, bringing his home family for nothing. Okay.
Yes,
there's a difference to somebody that lives, breathes. Guys all the time say, I live, eat, and breathe sports. Yeah, to a certain extent. What you read, what you see. You're not in dugouts. You're not talking to coaches. You're not dealing with players. You're not manipulating the guys that make the line. So do me a favor, get your little ass out the way and stop all that bullshit. You got some people believing your shit, and big guys like us, all you do is you're in the way, dude.
There's 30 baseball teams. I've been to 19 out of 30 stadiums, and I'm about to knock off 3 more.
And we're about to school you to the ins and outs of baseball. So if you want a lesson on Baseball 101, how to bet baseball, how to make money, what to look out for, what to look for, stay tuned, because we're going to split your motherfucking wig and take you over and beyond what you ever thought was possible. Me and my boy, Big Skipper.
You're going to learn more about baseball and baseball betting on this podcast than you've ever known about baseball in your life.
You're going to know more about baseball and baseball betting than you know how many hairs are on your girl's cut.
Right.
And
that's pretty many.
Yeah, you should be in tune with that too.
You should shave that shit down.
Yeah, that's if it's more than like 17, that may pose a problem, dude. And if you don't know how many hairs, but the pool guy does, that may pose a problem too.
That's a huge problem. Yeah.
Shout out to all the Sanchos out there.
Yeah. When the pool guy knows how your girl's bush is trimmed, that's a problem.
That definitely.
Yeah. He's not a landscaper. He's the pool guy.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. He's maintaining her all right in every position. Like I said, podcast 117, spring break, Easter edition, all about baseball. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're all about the legalization of sports betting, but more importantly, I'm the #1 sports consultant in the world. I make more money betting sports than anybody in the world, and my job is to make you a better sports bettor. If you're ready to take the plunge, you want to get involved, you want to make a second income, call us at 877-220-6540. If you're just looking for a free pick, go to our website, VIPSportsLasVegas.com. We have packages for all size, shapes, and colors. If you're sitting in the corner over there with low confidence with a little cock, we can help you too, dude. I'll help your swagger. I'll pat you on the back. If you're down and out, I'll pick your spirits up. I'll make you feel good about yourself. Because even if you did have a little cock, if you knew how to carry yourself and you knew how to be self-confident, would it matter? You learn how to embrace that little 3-inch cock. You use it as a fucking headline joke at the clubs, and you go all in with it. You know what I mean? Embrace it.
You start with your tongue.
That's a fact. You better know how to eat some real good pussy. Have her shooting off 4 or 5 nuts before you get there using your finger, and then you stick that little thing in.
You better know how to go to the trough.
But no, what I'm trying to say is, even in that guy with the little cock, you start off with our money management program. Within 30 days, you'll have a penis extension. Your life will be changed.
You'll be walking around with a swinging dick.
Fucking hanging like Tarzan around it, like a Congo around this motherfucker. But like I said, once again, we have packages for all size, shapes of sports bettors. Once again, you want to subscribe to the VIP Sports Podcast on YouTube and iTunes. We love reading all of your comments. Skip and I actually take the time to read them. I've been blocked.
Or I have somebody read them to me.
Well, yeah, I'll usually read them to you at the bar. Read me the fucking comments. I've been blocked. Shout out to Joe out there. I've been blocked from all our social media. I'm not allowed to comment. I'm not allowed to say nothing, because if I did, I'd be on there talking about suck a dick, fuck you. You know, I don't go for someone talking about my mom or saying anything negative. I'm from the street.
You get all fucked up, and then you let the haters get to you, and then you fucking come at them like you're supposed to.
Well, my point is like I said, Hollywood came to me. I didn't go to Hollywood. There's a difference between Hollywood coming to you and wanting to live your lifestyle and put you on TV because you're a cool dude, or a guy that's willing to suck cock to get on TV or a commercial or something like that. You know what I mean? But more importantly, all we want to do is make you money, and this baseball segment's going to help you get there. If you're not following us on Twitter already, you better. Facebook, Instagram, VIP Sports LV. I'm the only sports consultant in the world verified on Instagram. So, got to give ourselves a little round of applause. That means I'm an official celebrity. Yeah, me, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Brady, big boys are verified.
Get verified.
Yeah, so you little guys out there that trying to be like me, but you're not verified with your fake viewers. If you go to somebody's Instagram and they have 80,000 followers and 70,000 likes and they're not verified, they're fake as you could possibly fucking get. So you got to watch out there because social media is still sloppy. Remember, these telephone tough guys, anybody can be whoever they want on social media, right, Skip?
Yeah.
So you got to be able to see through that bullshit. You want to know that you're getting to the kingpin and the skipper? 877-220-6540. Direct message us with any comments. You don't want to put a comment on the podcast talking about how much money you bet because these trolls will call you and bother you until you don't want to bet sports or do the industry altogether. You know what I mean?
Social media, so what I'm getting from this is that social media could be sloppier than a Boulder Highway's whore at the club at 3 in the morning. Boulder Highway hooker supposed to be at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's sloppy as it could possibly get. Yeah, no
sloppy.
doubt about it.
Okay.
No doubt about it. Sloppy.
Armed Forces Radio Network.
Our first sponsor, I got to give a shout out to military heroes. Listen to the VIP Sports podcast around the world. We love you. I want you guys to have a happy Easter. I hope some of you guys get to go home for spring break.
Yeah.
You guys that are in the military that are single, you men and women, I hope you shoot more nuts off than any gun you've ever shot in your entire fucking life.
Go home and fuck like a rabbit.
Go home and fuck like a mad dog rabbit. Yeah, I mean, go home and fuck like the Easter Bunny. Just non-fucking stop.
Right.
Go home and treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Get a nice little workout and enjoy the holiday and be safe.
It would be nice if you men and women could get home to see your children for the holiday. Listen, I just want to say right here at this segment, Armed Forces Radio Network, it's a fucked up world. It's getting sicker.
Yeah, it is.
Crazy motherfucking shit going on in
Syria and everything.
Syria, I mean, there's just, listen, now more than ever, man, we salute you, we support you, we're behind you. Rest assured, we got your fucking back, like Steve says.
We got your six.
We got your six, man. I love you guys. Shout out to all branches. And shit, man.
My favorite sponsor. They deliver us to over 3 million people.
I'm getting goosebumps. Look, the hairs on my arms are standing
because
up.
you know how serious it is, and you and I are blessed.
Shit. It's serious shit, Steve. The world's a fucked up place, and it's getting crazier.
And we're blessed enough to live real good, so I'm really proud that...
Thank you for keeping us safe out there, men and women.
Don't forget, check us out at 11:30 a.m. Pacific on Mondays, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. again on Fridays.
Also want to give a shout out to the first responders, the ambulance drivers, the paramedics, the police all over the country. Shout out to the first responders as well, Steve.
Fridays, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Sorry, I just want to be specific about that. Fridays at 11:30 a.m., Mondays, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thank you. Moving on to our sponsors, Paperhead. Paperhead.com, where you can start your own business today with the best sports management software in the business. And as a reminder about the great offer exclusively for the fans of the VIP Sports Podcast, jot down the link that's showing on your screen right now. Simply click on the URL in the YouTube description of the podcast and get your 3-week trial of Paperhead's secure and user-friendly platform absolutely free. Remember, click right there to get it done. Once again, if you're like Steve Stevens, you want to bet big and live larger, you can become your own boss today with Paperhead.com. Get your piece of this billion-dollar industry. Huh, Big Skipper?
Paperhead.
Paperhead, like I said.
Not pay for head. Paperhead.
Yeah, paperhead.com. You want to start your own business, you want stats, live operators, go do your thing over there. Want to also give a shout out to our new sponsor. Bet DSI is in the fucking house, Skip. I'm excited to be working with them. It's our newest sponsor. Came on for a nice little package deal for the entire year. Shout out to Bet DSI. Ladies and gentlemen, Bet DSI, they've been operating for more than 20 years. BetDSI is an A+ rated and offers fast payment winnings with odds on all sports and global events. From the player who demands it all, including office pools, poker rooms, horse wagering, skill game, to the well better like our clients who need a non-nonsense high-limit sports book where they can bet big. BetDSI is the perfect choice, so if you're looking for the best solution to place your action, head over to BetDSI.com, where it's only a game until you bet on it.
You ain't kidding.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt, Steve.
You're goddamn right. And if you're watching or listening to the VIP Sports Podcast and you own a small business, remember, time is running out. If you want to work with our company, you're interested in becoming a sponsor, you can contact us at VIPSportsLasVegas.com. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
And moving on, what do you say we get into our baseball segment, Big Skipper?
Take me out to the
Ball game, light
Take
my
me
blunt
out to
with
the
this lighter.
crowd.
Smoke
Buy
me
me
some
some
kush
joints.
and eat my nutsack. I don't care if I have.
God, you don't even smoke it yet.
No,
Fuck.
like I said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the VIP Sports Baseball Edition. I think everyone's going to be excited. As you know, NBA is in a state of bullshit right now. Playoffs are right around the corner.
Playoffs start in a couple of days, Steve.
Which
there's no reason to be betting NBA for the next couple of days. As a matter of fact, you won't be able to bet NBA the next couple of days because there's no games.
And it's going to be a blackout. So
Yeah, blackout in the NBA, and we're getting ready for the postseason, which, as always, will be extremely profitable.
what's going to be more of a blackout? The ring around Khloe Kardashian's butthole or the no baseball games this weekend?
No basketball games.
No basketball,
You're not even
excuse me.
stoned. You're not even stoned yet.
No, well, baseball's all over the place. So, you know, couldn't be more excited to get
Let's
into this
start-
segment, Skip, because I know it's your favorite sport.
Let's start the baseball segment. You know what I've been finding out, Steve?
Yes, sir.
I'm getting a lot of clients calling in, or potential clients, wannabe clients calling in, saying, listen, I bet football, I bet basketball, I've dabbled in both sports, I've never bet baseball before. I keep hearing you talk about how it's your favorite sport, how you guys are knowledgeable about baseball, how profitable it is. It actually intimidates me. I've never bet it before, and I don't understand how to bet it.
Here's exactly what I'm going to tell these people right
Let's
the fuck now.
explain how to bet baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, from right now, stop what you're doing. This is the part of the podcast where you need to listen, you need to take notes, because we're only going to do this one time this year. We're dedicating this whole podcast to how to bet, what to look out for, what not to look out for. Skip, you hit it right on the head. For the Square Sports Bettor, there's a lot of people out there that don't even know how to go about betting baseball.
That's what I'm
when
saying.
they look at the sheet,
Yeah.
they see all the totals, they see the line, they see the run line,
They're
they see the
intimidated.
money line,
Right.
and they don't know what to do. So, let's go to fucking Sports Betting 101. Starts right now. You guys ready?
The reason why people don't bet baseball is because they're intimidated. They don't know how to bet it. And number two, it's not their favorite sport to watch on TV. People think it's a slow game, and it's not. They don't want to sit down for 3.5 hours and watch a baseball game. However, what they're not understanding, Steve, is it's extremely profitable, and there's many reasons why, which we're going to get into right now. And for my money, it's more profitable than basketball or football ever will be.
I can tell you, and we're going to get into reasons why baseball
we
is
will.
different than every other sport
As
as
soon as
well.
we explain how to bet baseball,
Let's start right here. What's the first way you go about signing up or starting to bet baseball? First thing is you call VIP Sports. Number two, the first thing you're going to need to know, Skip, what is the line? The first thing, betting baseball 101.
The basic way to bet baseball, there's two different ways. There's what's called a money line.
Correct.
And what's called a run line.
Okay.
Some books call it the odds, which would be the money line. Other books will say a spread, which would be the run line. But basic terminology is you either bet the money line or you bet the run line in baseball.
Okay.
Now what the money line means is...
So out of the two, explain what the money line is,
I'm
Skip.
about to.
Okay.
What the money line is, the money line means you're betting that team just to win the game. Doesn't matter if they win by 1 run or 10 runs. Your wager is that they're just to win the game. That's the money line. A run line means if you're betting the favorite, the run line is minus 1.5, which means they're minus a run and a half. You're betting that team to win by more than 1.5 runs.
They have to win by 2.
They got to win by 2 or more. So the run line means they got to win by 2 or more. The money line means just win the game. If they win by 1 run, you still win. Now, on the flip side of that, on run line, if you take the underdog, the run line is plus 1.5. So if you're taking the underdog and you're betting the run line,
You can lose by 1.
you can lose by 1 run and
Still
still win
win.
the game. So you're either betting the money line, which means just win the game, period, or you're betting the run line, which means minus 1.5 run or plus 1.5 run.
You couldn't have said it any different.
It's real simple.
And the only other explanation is what the money line is this. You might have the Dodgers playing the San Diego Padres.
Right, a great team against a shit team.
The money line comes out, you see minus 220 sitting next to the Dodgers, okay?
Right.
What that means is you have to bet $220 to win $100.
Correct.
Or you might see on the opposing side, the San Diego Padres shows plus 180 or plus 195.
Right.
So for every $100 that you bet, you win 195.
Plus your 100 back.
Plus your 100 back.
So one more time.
On a money line bet, if it's minus 225 and you're betting the favorite, you have to bet $225 to win 100.
You're risking 225 on that favorite team that's supposed to win, okay? You're risking 225 to win 100 profit. So you get your 225 back.
Plus you win your 100
profit.
bucks.
Right.
On the other side of the token, the plus 190, let's say, on San Diego, you bet $100 to make 190.
Right. So
plus your $100 back, so
Correct.
you get 290 back total.
Right.
Now, so that's pretty much what the money line is.
So that's a basic straight bet. You're betting either one team to win.
Correct.
Straight up or plus or minus the 1.5 on the run line.
Whether it's
and the odds are different on the money line and the run line, obviously.
That's what I'm getting to right now. So on the money line, you can either bet the underdog at a plus or the favorite at a minus. That's what that means. Right. Now, you have the thing that goes over where it says, let's say it said LA Dodgers minus 220. Then you look over a little bit more and it says minus 1.5, 130.
Right.
The odds change drastically. Obviously, for sports books, it's a trap to make more money because the run line, obviously winning, it's hard enough to win a baseball game by 1, let alone by 2, okay? So they have a run line bet, which Skip just explained. You can either take the favorite and bet them minus 1.5 to where they have to win by 2, and it makes your odds from minus 220 to only minus $1.30. Versus you can take the run line on the underdog plus a 1.5, which would normally be plus 195. Now you're probably even money,
right.
Or plus $1.10. In some cases, maybe minus 110.
So to sum it up, it's easier, obviously, just to win the game than it is to win by 2 runs or
Correct.
more. So you're going to lay higher odds on the money line on the favorite.
Because it's easier to win.
You're getting paid more money on the run line if you're willing to lay that minus 1.5.
And so it's a little something out there for gamblers to get greedy. So you got to be careful when you're betting the run line bet. Because to sum it all up, the money line bet is your bet. They give you the odds. You can bet either team. If the team is a heavy favorite or an underdog and you want to change the line to make it better, you can bet the run line and get better odds. And of course, that's a little bit more in the casino's favor. So you got to be careful.
A little bit harder to win on the run line. That's why the odds are better.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, ask your girl, would she rather have 2 inches or 1? I mean, it's a little harder to win by 2 than it is by 1. So that's the difference of a money line and a run line. I think we couldn't explain it any different. And I know it's hard for you and I, because this is like...
Well, it's like riding a bike.
It's very beginning type shit.
This
but
is
we
our
owe
life.
it.
I mean, if I came into an accounting office and, you tried to teach me some accounting procedures, I don't know fucking shit about the tax code. I mean, that's your business. If I come into a commodities fucking office in Chicago and you're trying to teach me about the price of fucking soybeans and the projected future of fucking soybeans, I don't know dick about it because I don't do it for a living.
So I would actually and expect someone to break it down in black and white, real simple.
Yeah.
So second of all, run lines. Let's move to totals. Everybody knows that there's an over-under. Now, there's 2 different totals that you can bet. You can bet the total of the baseball game, which let's say it's the LA Dodgers versus San Diego.
Just like football or basketball. You're betting whether it's over or under the combined score at the end of the game.
They'll put a total out where you see 7, 8, 9, or 10. They'll put the total out. You can look at the number, and you can either bet that total over or under. So if Dodgers are playing San Diego and the line is 9, you can either bet that the game combined score goes under 9 or over 9. The good thing about the over-under is they're usually always even money bets. That's why Skip and I told you. An over-under in baseball right now is only minus $1.10, sometimes even money. It's the best money you can buy in baseball right now is a total.
There's great value in over-unders in baseball simply because what he's saying is you won't lay more than 125 or maybe 130 on a minus to win $100 on a total. Where on a baseball favorite, you might have to lay minus 200 to make 100.
Right.
On a total, the most you're going to lay is maybe minus 125 to make 100 or maybe 130.
So if you get a call from Skip and he says, I want you to take the total on the Dodger game under the 9, you would know to bet that game under 9 runs combined. Now, there's also one more total that you can bet, which we don't do much of, but it's a total of how much each team scores themselves.
Correct. You can bet an individual team to score. For instance, if the Dodgers are playing the Padres today, the total on the Dodgers team alone might be, say, 4.5. Will they go over 4.5 runs or under 5.5 runs? Just the Dodgers. Has nothing to do with what San Diego scores. So every day they put a total out on the team, each individual team, how many will they score, and you can bet over or under that, or the total for the whole game, combined score between the two teams.
Bottom line. So if somebody asks you to play the total, or someone's asking you to give them information on the total, it's the over-under. It's what the total number is of over-under. Someone asks you to bet the over, you would take it over the 9 runs. Someone just said under in the total, it would be under 9. If someone wanted you to bet a team individually, they would tell you that team and the amount of runs. There's only one other thing that you can bet in baseball that we do a lot of, Skipper, and I have to tell our people, it's called the first 5. It's the first 5 innings bet, okay? We make a lot of money on this. I just spent millions of dollars on a package for the first 5 that a lot of our people are making money on. And if you haven't got it yet, I just bought it. It's millions of dollars. It's a package that's going to make us a lot of money. But why don't you explain what the first... It's basically you're betting the game in the first 5 innings. There's 9 innings in a game, but you're betting the first 5.
It's just like the... Now, why would you do this, okay? Why would you bet a baseball game just the first 5 innings?
Me, pitcher, strictly pitching matchup.
Yes, and you're basically protecting yourself against the shitty bullpen.
Correct.
So when you bet, it's just like in football or basketball. You can bet the first half of the game, and whatever the score is at halftime, that's your bet. You either won or you lost, right?
Yep.
You can bet the first half. In baseball, you can bet the first half too. They just call it a first 5 inning bet. So at the end of the 5th inning, whatever the final score is after 5 innings, you can bet which team's going to win the first 5 innings. You can also bet an over-under, Steve.
In the first
5 innings. Okay?
Same thing, same rules apply as what we told you earlier. If we call you up and say, you got Dodgers playing San Diego, we want you to play the San Diego plus $1.90, first 5. That would mean you would bet the game, San Diego as an underdog in the first 5 innings. If you have that pitcher that is a stud that you've been following, that you think is going to shut somebody down against a certain team or whatever your case is, you can bet them first 5. Because a lot of the time, like Skip just said, the bullpen gets in there, a stud pitcher starts off the game, does his job, bullpen comes in, fucks it a little bit up.
And blows the game for you.
Blows the game in. And
the first 5 innings bet is it's kind of like an insurance bet against the bullpen. You're betting strictly the 2 starting pitchers, and because a starting pitcher will usually only go 6, maybe 7 innings in the major leagues at this point.
It's almost like betting 2 different games. The first 5 is completely different than an entire ball game.
You're betting entirely on the 2 starting pitchers.
Correct.
And you're taking insurance.
A lot of money.
That the bullpen isn't going to blow the game for you. So all you want to do is bet the first 5 innings because you're assuring yourself that those 2 starting pitchers most likely will both go 5 innings. And you're betting one team or the other, or the over or the under. How
many times have you had a total that looked fantastic through 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 just fuck up everything?
Right.
So first 5 innings is a very important bet. If you don't know nothing about it, call and ask, because we make a lot of fucking money in that. And that's pretty much the ins and outs on how to bet baseball, or what a total is, what the money line is, what the run line is, etc. I think that now...
Don't let it intimidate you. It's a lot easier than it may sound.
Yeah, it's not hard at all.
It only takes 2 or 3 days worth of making bets and playing around on your account a little bit to figure it out. It's not that complicated.
All you got to do is rewind what we just said, and we'll hand walk you right through.
Yeah, once you come on board, you sign up. If you've never bet it before, believe me, you're going to love betting it because it's extremely profitable, and it's a lot easier and less complicated and less intimidating than what you may think it is. And like he said, we'll take you by the hand and we'll walk you right through it so there's no mistakes.
But hold on, though. But at the same time, you're just at home looking at stats and newspapers, and you're going off what you think, what you like, and no offense, you don't know shit. I've spent millions of dollars. I got people in training camps watching every single day, dealing with the players, the coaches, the CEOs. I mean, we got guys in locker rooms of basketball games telling us how a team's going to fucking play and what their attitude is, and you guys don't have that. You don't have friends that you can call. Were they out last night? Were they partying? Did they do ecstasy?
We just made a fucking huge score a couple nights ago in the NBA.
On the Brooklyn fucking Nets all fucking day long.
On a game that we got fed some serious information.
Not only that, but
a 30-point fucking blowout winner. I mean, this happens to us on a regular basis. That's why you pay us.
Correct.
We're in the know. While you're busy taking care of your family and running your business or going to work every day and doing what you do best, this is what we do.
Not to mention, I'm born and raised in Las Vegas, third generation. I work and manipulate the guys that make the fucking line that you guys bet on. So when a guy calls you from New York or Australia or, Canada or, anywhere else, I mean, guy says he's a world-class handicapper, he's from New York or Wisconsin. What does a guy in New York know about lines made in Las Vegas? It would almost be like running Wall Street in Indiana. It just doesn't work, does it?
No, it doesn't work. Now, what we're going to do now is get into the reasons why baseball betting is different than betting football or basketball.
God,
why is it so profitable?
That was just going to say, not only, let me just finish up. I spend millions of dollars and deal with the players, and I have insight, and I know exactly what's going on with these people. So rather than guessing, you at least have an honest shot of what's going on. But Skip hit it right on the head. My job is to tell you the reasons why baseball is so much more profitable and so different than these other sports. Like people always ask us, Steve, Skip, why is baseball so different? Because I'm not going to lie to you. 6 out of 10 people that bet football fall off and don't bet baseball. And no offense, I like it because you're usually the small guys that just get in the way. Serious guys bet baseball. So, Skip, what I want you to do is I want you with me to explain, I'm going to read a list of things a little bit, and I want you to just break it down with me, okay? Here's a couple reasons why baseball is different than everything else. Why don't we just start with, ballpark dimensions? You would know more than anybody, right?
I've been to 19 out of 30.
Aren't they all different?
The thing about baseball and ballpark dimensions is that ballparks play differently, and in this sport, every ballpark is different. You got some ballparks that have short fences. Maybe they got a short right field fence, like in New York, Yankee Stadium.
Colorado, hit it out anytime.
In Colorado, the air is thin. That's part of the weather, which we'll get into next. But ballparks are different in every city, okay? The pitching rubber is 60 feet, 6 inches.
You guys talk about the chills. Preach that shit, Skip.
The pitching rubber is 60 feet, 6 inches away from home plate in every park. The bases are 90 feet apart from each other in every park, okay? However, in basketball, the court is the same. The dimensions are the court are the same everywhere you play, whether you're playing up at Golden State or you're playing down in Miami. The basketball court is the same dimensions.
Same length, same width.
Everywhere. Okay? Same thing as football. The football court field are the same dimensions everywhere, no matter where you're playing, whether in New York or San Diego.
Same length, same width.
Now, the thing about baseball is, yes, the bases are 90 feet apart, no matter where you are. The pitching rubber is 60 feet, 6 inches from home plate, no matter where you are. However, the ballpark, it plays differently. Some ballparks have more foul ground than others. Some ballparks have shorter fences than others. It's a lot different playing at Fenway Park, where you got the green monster and the high wall, than maybe it would be at Wrigley when the wind is blowing out with a shorter fence, okay? Every ballpark plays differently in baseball, which is a huge fucking advantage or disadvantage if you know what you're doing.
And
I could spend 20 minutes getting into that, but that's just the basics behind it.
You gave me the best answer you could have possibly gave. That's a broad answer of why baseball is completely different than every other sport. You couldn't answer it any better. I love it.
Every park you go to is different. Unlike every football field, they're all the same. Every basketball court, they're all the same.
Okay, now you were also talking about, which this is all different than basketball, considering all basketball is indoor. We were just talking about weather, impact on run production, what the weather's like. Is it raining? Is it blowing the wrong way? Is it fucking the pitcher up? So weather factor, Skip. How does that make baseball different than every other sport?
Great question. Weather is a huge factor in baseball.
The ball's only this big, dude.
It's a huge factor. When you're playing up in Denver and Colorado in the thin air, the ball's going to tend to travel more, Steve. Okay, thus you're going to get a lot more overs than you will unders in those situations, which means the line makers got to be on their game and they got to be on point. Okay, games being played at Coors Field in Denver.
Or you can eat them alive.
With the thin air, you're going to get a lot more run production in the thin air than you would be otherwise. Now, like a lot of West Coast ballparks have low-scoring games. What's the reason for that? Because the West Coast is at sea level.
Correct.
I mean, California's pretty much at fucking sea level. It's harder to score at Petco Park in San Diego because of the humidity and the fact that you're at sea level. The ball just doesn't fucking carry like it would in in Chicago at Wrigley. When you get a windy day at Wrigley, when the wind is blowing the right way,
You get you a fucking ding-dong
you
to
might
right
put-
field on accident.
they might put up 14 runs in the first 6 innings, okay? Down in Texas at Arlington Park, depending on how the wind is blowing, the way it's swirling, you hit a ball up in the air, it's fucking in the bleachers instantly. A fly ball's a home run in the right weather conditions at Arlington Park.
Sometimes the fucking outfielder can't even catch the motherfucker. You don't even know where it's going to land.
Dodger Stadium, night games compared to day games, okay? You're going to score a lot more runs at day games at Dodger Stadium at Chavez Ravine than you will during night games. It's just simply because of the atmosphere and the humidity levels.
I love it, dude. He's kicking it. So listen, write this down. Number 1 was ballpark dimensions. Number 2, weather factors. Number 3, which we all know, umpire rotations and pitching matchups. You guys know this is one thing that no handicapper, no one in the industry besides us talks about or actually even knows anything about because we don't ever see it. If they knew, they'd be advertising it. Do you understand that there's different pitching rotations and umpire rotations and pitcher matchups and what umpire is with what pitchers? And if you're following that and you know that in the relationships, it could be berserk. Go ahead, Skipper. Tell me about umpire rotation.
Okay.
Why is this different?
Everyone knows that the strike zone at home plate is an imaginary box. It's supposed to be a constant. However, the umpires are humans, okay? And they're the ones that determine a ball and strike, okay?
They run the fucking game, Skip. They're calling the game.
They sure do.
So, yeah, they mean a lot.
Certain umpires, when you track umpires, certain umpires will have a very high percentage of overs, games where there's a lot of runs being scored. Some umpires will have a very high percentage of unders, where very few runs get scored when they're behind the plate.
Are you listening what he's saying?
Why is that? Because an umpire who has a wide strike zone,
Correct.
Maybe he'll call an inch off the plate on the inside, the outside.
Or mid-chest or high chest instead.
Maybe he's got a tendency of calling a high strike, okay? He's got a broader strike zone than the other guy does, okay? Those games are going to be unders more times than not when he's behind the plate because he's got a wide strike zone and he can't wait to get off the field and go to dinner and have a couple cocktails and meet his hooker, okay, back at the hotel room.
That's a fact because he's busy and he's ready to go.
Now, when you get an umpire that has a tendency of having a tighter strike zone, okay, obviously those games there'll be a lot more scoring because he's got a tighter strike zone, okay? So there's going to be a lot more walks. The pitcher's going to have to be on his game. Well, you got an umpire with a wide strike zone, unders, because he's going to be punching out a lot more guys. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you get a pitcher on the mound who likes to live on the corners, you know the guy likes to paint the corners. That's his style. And you get an umpire behind the plate who has a wide strike zone. Advantage to the pitcher, but there's going to be a lot more strikeouts because this guy's got a wide strike zone, which means there's going to be fewer runs. Makes sense, right?
Skip, I'm actually thinking that we're taking these guys into dimensions that they've never even thought.
Well, I'm talking shit that you don't even think about.
No, but I'm saying like we're really showing them a lot. So number 1, ballpark dimensions. Number 2, weather. Number 3, umpire.
Let me just say this: these are things that we do. We do this
that no one else does.
You're not going to be sitting at home figuring out an umpire-pitcher rotation,
or how many times they've matched up and what his fuck.
You're not a weatherman. You don't understand the humidity in the air and how a ball carries.
You don't know what a strike zone is and what he's calling and what he's feeling this week. You don't know none of that shit because you don't know the people. This
is what we do, and
it's what I sent him out there for.
It's just a very small part of what we do. We're just trying to explain why baseball is different and more profitable than any other sport.
And to blow your mind by listening to some shit from the best in the world and learning some shit because everybody watches us to listen and learn. And the motherfucking Mecca, the Don, is speaking. Yeah. So make sure you listen. Let's move on. Very important. Pitchers rest. 4 or 5 days, more or less, on the regular. That is a major fucking factor in baseball.
Yes.
You got to really know that pitcher. You got to know what he's been through. 4 or 5 days, your body completely changes, transforms. And if you're not in tune with that team, Skip, you could really get hit hard and not know what you're dealing with.
A starting pitcher, Steve, usually performs, he goes 4 or 5 days in between each start.
Correct.
Okay? Some guys will react better off of a 4-day rest.
To you squares out there, pitchers in the major leagues can't pitch every day. Okay?
Right.
They have a certain pitch count that they can do. They can, like I said, like Skip said, the starters every maybe 3, 4, 5 days.
4 or 5 days is what they go in between starts.
So
now there's some pitchers out there that if, let's just say there's a rain delay, okay, or should I say a postponement, okay, a game that gets canceled that week. Now, instead of a 4-day rest, he ends up having a 6-day rest.
Correct.
Okay, there's a day off in there somewhere.
Extra two nuts with his wife, extra lasagna, and his prostitute in the same couple days?
Well, that could happen too.
Well, that's all the time. That's happening all the time.
There could be a day off on the schedule. There could be followed by a rain out the next day.
Oh.
Now they missed 2 days in a row.
Now you're on a flight to Vegas to get fucked up.
It fucks up their whole rotation. Correct. What I'm saying is you have to know which pitchers are stronger off a 4-day rest or off a 5-day rest. If they get a rain out or a fucking extra day off and they end up with 6 days off in between starts, fucks their whole head up, fucks their whole rhythm up.
And if you're telling me that you're watching baseball and that you're checking that stat right there, you're lying. You're lying. Do me a favor. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself.
Let me do it for you.
Don't lie to nobody. This is some real shit that we deal with, and it makes us the best, and why it takes millions of dollars to make millions of dollars.
I don't just charge money for games because I'm fucking throwing darts over here.
If you're going to tell me that you're betting a game and you know how somebody comes off 4 days rest, 5 days rest, 6 days rest,
you're full
and
of
you know
shit.
it, you're full of fucking shit straight up. So
when you know the pitching rotation and you know the umpire rotation and you know what kind of guy you got behind the plate, and what 2 starting pitchers are and what their tendencies are, how many days off rest they had, and believe me, what the weather conditions are, what ballpark you're at, yeah, I'll get it done for you. Steve and I will get this done for you. We got a staff that does this shit, and believe me, we're the best in the world at it.
Makes me laugh when somebody says, I said, what'd you get on the game? Depends how I feel. Depends how I feel about it. Well, it depends how you feel. You don't know nothing.
What are you talking
That's
about?
what I'm saying. Guy, I mean, like, well, you know.
Depends how it feels.
Depends how you feel. It has nothing to do with what you feel. You're guessing. So even if you read your stats and in your mind you think you're making an educated decision, you still don't have a fucking clue about nothing that's happening in the fucking game. But hopefully we can teach you this. This is why we've taken time out of our day to help you. So don't ever fucking say VIP Sports, Steve Stevens, the big skipper, don't care. Give me a hug, man. We love you guys.
We know what the fuck we're talking about. Listen up.
Anyway, one more. Let's just go fast through these. Another thing, turf and grass, I think you guys can figure out on your own. Outdoor, indoor.
Some teams play better on turf
correct.
than they will on a natural surface.
On grass, correct. Outdoor.
Some teams that, like Tampa Bay, that play in a fucking dome.
Play better in a dome than they do outside.
They might play better in a dome than they do outside in cold weather. Or they might play better in a dome than they do when they have to go down to San Diego and it's a little warm and humid. I mean, some teams are just better on natural surfaces than they are on artificial surfaces.
We don't need to get into it.
Yeah,
just know that that's pretty fucking simple on that one.
Day and night games.
Day and night games, same fucking thing.
Some teams play better on day games than they will at nighttime.
I agree.
Some pitchers pitch better on day games than they do at nighttime.
Oh, fucking.
And vice versa.
Certain stadiums they pitch better. What's the record in this stadium?
You get teams that love the fucking party in different cities that they go to. And the next day may be a travel day, and they went out, had a couple cocktails the night before, and didn't get back to the hotel till 4 in the morning. They got a day game the next day because it's a travel day. Now all of a sudden they're a little hungover. Now they got to play a day game in 85-degree weather and 78% humidity, and they got to show up at the park in 4 hours, and they just got in at 4 in the morning.
And then you got a pitcher, because how many Skip, we personally know several starting pitchers, several guys in Major League Baseball as our friend. How many times have our friends just told us, like, man, I love pitching in this park. I kick ass in this fucking park.
Yep.
They're I mean, guys, these are human fucking beings. Like, when you know them and the way they talk to, like, me and they talk to us, it's like, the confidence of knowing, like, I kick ass in that park is just, it's information you don't know that you need to know when the ball gets handed to that guy.
Another thing that goes along with this, Steve, is left-handed pitchers versus right-handed pitchers.
Correct.
Certain lineups will hit left-handed pitching better than right-handed pitching.
That is correct.
AKA the LA Dodgers. They just can't hit lefties.
But they can kill righties.
Yeah, certain teams will hit righties better than lefties and vice versa. If you got a right-handed lineup where most of the batters are right-handed, and they just can't hit fucking right-handed pitching.
Who do you think you're putting in? I mean it's rocket science. It really is.
These are trends that aren't just going to fucking stop overnight.
These are baby trends, like the last couple that we've talked about are baby trends that you might know about, but we're just giving you the entire list to make you better. I want to help you be a better sports bettor, and I think Skip does too. Because we want you to make a second income, because we're not haters. It's $1 billion industry. You deserve your fair share. We're getting ours.
Travel effects plays a major fucking role in
I
baseball.
can weigh in on that. It's the most, I'd have to say, the most influential and biggest effect. It's a grind. 162 games, managers, lineups, the buses, the hotel rooms, the grind, the travel, the tiredness, the wear, the tear. It gets old, dude. Shitting in hotels gets old after a while, dude. Different sheets, the bus, like I said, man.
You got to be real careful because a manager's lineup is affected based upon travel days.
Big time.
Rest days. I mean, on Sundays, a lot of catchers will sit, won't be in the lineup. I mean, you've got to know what the fuck is going on, and believe me, people, we know. Let me just sum it up right here, Steve.
Well, I tell you what, Skip, because I know you got more to say. Before he sums it up, ladies and gentlemen, that OG Kush got me a little bit out of here. I got to go get me a little drink of water. I'm going to talk to Skip real quick. We're going to go to a quick break to our commercials, go to our sponsors. Give me a second. We'll be right back. Hold that thought, brother.
There you go.
BetDSI.com. Over 20 years in business, A+ rated and fast and free payment of winnings with odds on all sports and global events. Get a free $25 right now to try the site and a 100% bonus on your first deposit. Go to BetDSI.com now because it's only a game until you bet it.
You do like making money, correct? I'm Steve Stevens. I'm the one that tells you who to bet. I'm not a bookie. I'm the Bookie Killer. Whether you're here in town on business or to flat out gamble, don't forget, sports betting is a multi-billion-dollar industry and you deserve your fair share. Call 877-220-6540 or go to VIPSportsLasVegas.com, mention this ad, and get a $500 personal play absolutely free. See you in the winner's circle. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm feeling a lot better. Fuck, man. I didn't know how thirsty I really was,
Well,
Skip.
it's called cottonmouth.
Well, not only that, but you were spitting flames. It got hot in here. Your mouthpiece was a fucking weapon. They don't call me Steve El Scorcho in the streets for nothing. They don't call you the chiropractor because you ain't straightening motherfuckers.
I will straighten your bankroll out. Listen, I'm on my hands and knees begging you to call me for baseball. This is what I do. I'm incredibly passionate about it. And if you're not playing baseball with me this spring and this summer and get that bankroll set up for fucking football this fall, I'll make you so much fucking money this spring and summer betting baseball than you've ever made in your damn life betting sports. And I fucking personally assure you that.
Not to mention, we just gave you, out of the 8 pieces of advice we gave you in the last segment, 5 of those you never heard before, knew nothing about, and if you did, you don't study them and know, or you don't have any relationship with players. That's what we do. That's what separates me from everybody in the world. It's one thing if you follow Floyd Mayweather as the best boxer on paper, or you've seen his tapes, or are you his friend with him every single day, sitting in the car, knowing what he eats, knowing when he uses the bathroom, knowing what, I mean, it's a big fucking difference being in the life. That's why it's high risk, high reward. Let me fucking get gray hair and have a heart attack for your benefit. I'm here to make you more money. I just want to finish out a couple more things in baseball, and we'll get out of here, Skip.
We'll just sum it up. We were talking about the travel effects. It's a long grind. It's a long season. There's 162 games.
I think we gave them enough. We gave them 101 on how to bet. Travel is definitely some of the hardest things. You got to know where the teams are, how they're sleeping, what they're drinking, and how good that manager has that team under control, and how many days he's allowed and where they're going, pretty much.
Because it's such a long season, Steve, it's 162
it's such a
games.
wear and tear, dude.
It's day in, day out. That's why the trends and baseball is more consistent than any other sport. Football, they play one day a week, Steve.
I know.
They got all week to prepare for one game.
Yeah.
In baseball, they don't have all week to prepare for the next game.
No.
The next game is fucking tomorrow night.
That's what I'm saying.
The next game's tomorrow.
You wonder why so many baseball wives fucking suck and fuck other people. I mean, you know what I mean? Their guy's gone all the fucking time. You know what I mean? And so, you know,
Basketball, they play what, 3-4 games a week?
Yeah.
Football plays one game a week.
Yeah,
Baseball
exactly.
is every single night. That's why it's the most consistent sport there is.
Now that we told you the ins and outs, we told you how to bet. You don't have to be overwhelmed anymore. You know what the line is. You know what the money line is. You know what the run line. You know what the total. You know what the first 5 is. We told you stats that we look at, not even counting the players and the information, not to mention the traps that we find in the sports book. That's a whole nother segment about all the traps in the sports book, Skip. I want to talk about a couple different things, though, about baseball. We talked about it off air. Why don't we talk about some teams right now that are undervalued? You want to talk about, let's talk about some overvalued teams and undervalued teams.
Fair enough.
You want to do that with me?
You want to start with undervalued?
Let's start with, you tell me.
Well, undervalued teams right now.
I know a couple. Like Atlanta.
Yeah, I talked about Atlanta on the last podcast. I mean, Atlanta, you're going to be able to find some good spots where you're going to get plus money on Atlanta.
We told you that.
I think they're an undervalued team. I think they're going to win some games and shock some people.
Doesn't mean you bet them every day, guys.
No,
I mean, they're
no.
what we said last week, spotted. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Who else?
In the National League, I would say Colorado's probably undervalued.
Arizona.
Arizona for sure.
These lines, I mean, Arizona's lines are very, very small compared to what they should be. Great value in Arizona.
Great value in Arizona. Undervalued, I would say, for sure.
Undervalued for sure. What about American League?
In the American League, undervalued
Would
teams.
you consider Baltimore undervalued?
Yes.
Or right at the line?
No, I would say Baltimore's undervalued because they play in the American League East. They don't get the attention they should. They're overlooked a lot, and they're in there with the big boys like Toronto and the Yankees and Boston.
Yeah. Shout out Toronto. Blowout.
I would say that Baltimore is an undervalued team. I would say Detroit probably is an undervalued team.
I know for sure Oakland. They had lines almost twice what they got going right now.
I would agree that Oakland is an undervalued team. Correct.
So
they're better than people think. You're gonna be able to spot play and find some value with the Oakland A's.
Now let's go to overvalued teams. And you were correcting me, but I mean you're right and you're wrong. Like I said, overvalued Dodgers minus 280. I think those lines are too high. I say they're overpriced, but you say they're worth it. They're that good.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you can ever overvalue the Cubs or the Dodgers at this point.
Well, true.
I mean, if you want to lay 280, go ahead. I'm not going to lay 280.
Can I give you one?
I would never advise you to lay 280.
No.
I'm just saying the reason why they are so high is because they are the cream of the crop. So as far as being overvalued, I wouldn't say the Dodgers or the Cubs you could ever possibly overvalue.
Well, I'll tell you a team that is overvalued that makes me sick, and they can suck a fucking $2 dick. The Washington Nationals are fucking overvalued. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I said that last podcast. I think they're overrated.
Who else?
I would say probably the Giants.
Giants. You got to add St. Louis in there too. St. Louis is better. I don't know, man. It's too high.
No, St. Louis.
They're overvalued.
They're overvalued.
Sure.
I would agree with that. I would say in the National League, the Nationals, St. Louis, and the Giants, the lines are a little too high on those teams. They're not as great as people think. And yes, they could be overvalued, high price.
Speaking of people, they're not as good as people think in the American League. Seattle ain't nowhere near as good as these motherfuckers think they are. They're definitely over fucking
They've been
priced.
talking Seattle up for the last couple of years. They are definitely an overvalued team.
Correct. They expect them to be in the World Series every year. What about Texas?
Sticking in the American League West, Texas absolutely overvalued.
So
I mean, they started the season like dog shit.
Yes.
At home, they got swept by Cleveland.
Well, I mean, like I said, man, these teams are, they got to stay focused. And like I said, one thing about baseball is there's so many different elements, as you and I went over today. Variables, elements, and keys to success. But more importantly in baseball, money management and discipline. Okay, what that means is betting one game a day and not every day. People call me every day about their parlays. One thing that we don't want you to do is to call our office and tell Skip and I or our sales force about your parlay that you got going or something that you got going. If you call us, you're obviously looking for advice, and let us help you. Because listen to me, if we do it your way, we get your results. If you do it my way, you get world-class results. You're the best in the world. You make a second income, and I'd almost be willing to bet you dollars to donuts I'll make you more money betting sports than you do at your own fucking job.
Don't call me and tell me about your betting system and about your parlay system. Because to be honest with you,
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
It doesn't matter to us. Like I said, you're sitting in your underwear. If you're a millionaire, you wouldn't be calling stock in us. We're millionaires.
If you want to know how to bet sports and you want to make money, then call me. And especially this time of the year, I'm your man.
I'd like to thank you for that baseball segment. Everybody was looking forward to it. Skip.
I could do it all day long.
And I want to send a special shout out to you, man. I don't get to thank you often because I'm not emotional like that, man. Thanks for going and taking that grind, going and doing all that hard work that you've been doing on the off season. I know we put pictures on the internet and it makes it look fun because you put it in the sunset and one with your son, but you're literally out there working your fucking ass off. You know, you put a picture on the Instagram with a beer. Even people think you're having a great time. They don't know that you're stressed.
I am having a great time.
Well, you are because you're doing what you love, but you're working your ass off.
I let it appear that way to you.
No, well, then you know what?
Thank you.
Then fuck you, and I take back that thank you.
You're withdrawing.
Then you suck, and fuck you, and no.
You're withdrawing the thank you.
No, I'm absolutely not. You've been kicking ass, and keep it up.
I appreciate it. I'm passionate about everything I do, and I don't like to lose. I'm a winner, and I'll do whatever it takes to make sure I'm making money, my clients are making money.
Guys, like I said, our whole job, the reason why we party and go drink alcohol and do this and do that and stress out is all for the love of our clients. We love you guys. The reason why we live high and have the highest highs and the lowest lows is because we live for you. We don't get paid unless you do. So we wanted to give you a little knowledge on baseball. We wanted to school you. And at the end of the day, hopefully you learned a little bit something that you didn't know before. But like I said, even with that added, I got to deal with the players, the coaches, CEOs. I'm in the loop. It's just like in Hollywood. When you're fucking one celebrity, you're fucking them all because you're in the loop. I'm in the sports loop big time. I know what's going on with the players. We know how long they're resting. We know certain stats that nobody else does. But stats will only take you so far, Skip. At some point, you have to have some inside information. And if you want the winning edge, you want to go over and beyond what you ever thought was possible, only big boys bet fucking baseball. You want to make a second income, you want to be with us, all I can tell you is come get involved with this money train because we are running motherfuckers over and it's the best time of the year. Underdog value is outrageous. Like I said, be looking forward to totals because good money is in totals right now. And as far as NBA, they can suck a good old-fashioned cock for the next 14 days. You got to wait till playoffs. Yeah, there's a couple spot moves out there, but there's too much money to be made in baseball.
Well, playoffs start in a few days, and there will be some moves in the first round here, which will be starting in a couple of days, but they'll be few and far between. We'll definitely be making moves in the postseason. However, you got to be very careful and don't try to do it on your own.
And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm about to go get in the car, go to my beach house in Laguna, and go ahead and make it motherfucking rain. I'll keep you guys posted. Oh, I'm not going to stop working. I'm going to have my book. For those people that pay big money to deal with me, I got their name and number. I'll be contacting them. Otherwise, my 40 salesmen will still be here to take your order and to service you. But if you've signed up with me, I'll deal with you personally. But I'm going to go lay it out for spring break.
Nice.
Take the kids out there. Every now and then you got to put the battery on the charger. You got to relax and you got to have a good time. Because at the end of the day, we can grind, we can talk shit, we can have money to the fucking ceiling. But if you're not having fun with your family, if you're not treating your family to the finer things in life, then everything you're grinding for don't mean shit. Family first, everything else second. Don't fucking forget that.
Call in, ask for the skipper, tell them you want to play some baseball with the skipper, and let me go kick the shit out of your bookie. It's as simple as that.
At the end of the day, this was the baseball segment, ladies and gentlemen. I want everybody to have a happy Easter. If you're just getting home from deployment or you're getting home from college, go fuck your girl like you're an Easter bunny. Enjoy the fucking weekend. Enjoy spring break. And more importantly, don't be a bareback bandit. Make sure you put a rubber on because you never know what could happen. You go raw dog in this day and age.
Bareback bandit.
And listen, fucking with no rubber is like taking a free game on a fucking text message.
Isn't that the only way to fuck?
A raw? Nah, this ain't the 70s anymore, bro. These days and age, you go raw dog, you're liable to die.
I'm spoiled, man. I've been with the same one.
So am I. So I'm not too worried. I got my same girl that I raw dog and fuck with no rubber, and we have a great time.
Yeah, I'm bareback all the way.
But at the end of the day, I have a good time. Skip sounds like he's having a good time. We want you to have a good time. It's a $1 trillion industry, like I said. I'm sitting here every fucking day dealing with the biggest sports bettors in the world. Like I said, I'm not a bookie. I don't care who you bet with. I don't give a fuck as long as they pay. Like I said, I'm not a bookie. I'm a bookie killer. My job is to do whatever it takes to get you up-to-date information so you can win, to make a second income, to make yourself and your life better. On the behalf of VIP Sports, myself, the Big Skipper, we love you. It's spring break. Happy Easter. And like I said, don't let the players be the only ones to get paid.
Amen, brother.
Take it from El Scorcho, Steve Aroni, or they'll be calling me Stevie Wells in a couple days. Fair enough? See ya, I love you.
Sees the network, I'm trying to up my net worth. Me and Steve talk money, cause that's what real homies do. My daughter been counting money already, she on it too. From the corner to your TV, CNBC's the network. I'm trying to up my net worth. Real G's respect dirt. Bomb hustle, sold $250,000 with my swag. Just a killer sales pitch and a smile is all I had. On the ab early, hustling heat, puffing the beat. Talking money when you're just getting up and brushing your teeth. I'm the true definition of an underground king. Take the underground to the mainstream and change things. So dope, so reefer. Nowadays I push ether. I'm an iPhone, you a beeper. I'm a Phantom, you a Kia. I'm too advanced to lose. Bottom line, I refuse. Sell a CD to a nun. Sell a movie to a blind dude. I'm a shine dude. Black rocks glistening. If the money talks, pimping, talk to me. I'm listening. Money talks. Money talks. Money talks. If you're about to talk paper, money talks. Money talks. Money talks.